followed by number 7, Nikolai Uchikov, who's in the opposite slot. Then it's number 9, Georgy Seganov, who's setting. Number 10, Valentin Bratoev is through the outside. And number 20, Alex Grozdanov is middle blocking. And starting libero, Martin Ivanov, number 23. Uchikov, the captain. Total Skrimov, number 8, the other outside hitter. So the Bulgarian lineup, very strong, very talented. So too the Canadian one. It's going to be an interesting first set to see which way it goes and who sets out their stall early and sets the benchmark. So this is how they're lining up, with Schwartz is at position 1, Vigras is at position 4 in the front row. And for Bulgaria, they are starting with Seganov at position 1 as the setter, and at the front row will be Uchikov, Gotsev and Skrimov. Second referees check the lineups. The liberos can come in. We are moments away from getting this one underway. Bulgaria in the white and green serving, Canada in all black receiving. It's week 1 of the FIVB Men's Volleyball Nations League here in Argentina, and that's a cracking start for Bulgaria, making a block and getting a break point with the first point. Second serve for Seganov. See that screen that they're putting up, Bulgaria, but because the ball is being served from above the height of the net with the jump float serve, no screen will be called by the referees because the players deemed receiving can see the contact of the ball above the height of the net. Canada get their side out, and that sends Walsh back to the serving line. Deep breath from him as he goes with a jump serve. Excellent ball in. Nice commit block in the middle, another chance for Bulgaria. Nice high hands defense from Walsh. Sharon with the error. Vernon, well, he had the ball slightly behind him, having to arch his back. And the adrenaline still coursing through his veins, overcooking that one. Bulgaria have the side out. And back to the serving line, Todor Skrimov. That's an excellent ball in. Good D. Free ball here for Canada. Ma pops it out wide. And Vernon, oh, he's got blocked. They weren't too sure. It was a late move from Ma. Wasn't overly convinced, thought it might have been going wide, but it'll go down as a block point for Bulgaria. They now lead 3-1. It was an excellent serve, but a really good pass. There are options here. And it was a very good dig by Skrimov. Skrimov with the serve again. Walsh has a quick look to see where he can put the ball through the middle. Nice high hands D from Bulgaria. And it's a net touch by Marshall in the middle. In fact, it was Vigras who made the net touch. 4-1 now Bulgaria. Skrimov serves again. Well, he was trying to be clever and put that ball short. So it'll be John Gordon Perrin with the serve now for Canada. Easy one for Bratoev to deal with. Oh, what a swing that is. That's an absolutely thunderous spike from Uchikov in the opposite slot. Marshall did really well. He absorbed so much of it. I think he got stuck in his arms. Gotsev, first serve of the 2019 Volleyball Nations League for him. Mar looking for touches. Referee says it's out. Canada have the opportunity to challenge if they wish, but they're not doing so. There's a challenge system in operation, for those of you not sure about what that is. Each team's got 2 challenges per set, and there are elements of the game they can challenge, whether the ball is in or out. You don't agree with the decision, whether there's been a fault, a foot fault, centre line, 3-metre line or serving line, whether the ball touched the block or not, whether the ball hit the floor or not. You can have an up-down call, you can have a net touch call. No issues with this play from Canada. The pipe attack working perfectly as Perrin puts it away. Sends Vigras back to the serving line. That one's not found the courts. Valentin Bratoev has a little look to the coach to say, oh, I'm not sure about that, thought it was in. And they're going to challenge, they're going to have a little look here and see whether or not it is in or out. Glenn Hogue having a little chat with Vernon. Glenn Hogue's son, Nick Hogue, one of the veteran players of the team, not required this week. In fact, they were looking for a touch. Well, it was nowhere near Vernon, but look how high Vernon gets. But he's closing the block very late. And Baloterchi saying, no, the ball is out. Didn't touch anyone in the block. So that means that means Bulgaria have lost their first challenge. They only have 1 left now in this set. If they get it right, though, they'll keep it, should they need to use it. Oh, that's not going to come back. Good serve from Vigras. Desperate attempt by Seganov to play the ball with his foot. You can play the ball with any part of your body. Used to be, you could only play the ball from above the knee. Weren't allowed to kick it. But now anything goes, pretty much. Well, that's a good block. That's on the baseline. Canada have got themselves back level very quickly in this set. It's a block from Vernon. Joined by Schwartz to close down that ball. Oh, small good blocking from Canada. Bratoev trying to hit his way through, and it's not working. There's nowhere to go. Bulgaria call the timeout. It was a bright start for Bulgaria, but Canada have woken up and got right back in it. Excellent blocking from them.
First of all, we have to think about the rebound with the libero here. It's perfect situation in covering attack. Think for this. Yes. Second one, Segano. If you are in good condition, quick attack.
Bradley's having a little word with his setter to say, I want you to set the ball to the quick. I want to get the quick going. That's the player right in front of Seganov to try and hold Canada's middle blockers, and then when he does go out wide, it's a better opportunity for the outside hitters to put the ball on the floor because there'll be more space. Vigras serving again. That's an ace serve from Vigras. Oh, brilliant stuff this from Canada. And we go into the first technical timeout. What a turnaround. The Maple Leafs now lead by 2 in this first set.
He might run 31 because he might want to go this opposite now, okay? But you need to help. Okay, let's go. What you can. I'll take a little.
Canada have all the momentum at the moment. They've got the rhythm. They got the better of Bratoev, and this current rotation for Bulgaria, they're struggling to get past this huge block Canada are putting up. Need a good ball in. Everyone running their routes, try and find a gap, and then it's up to the setter, Seganov, to put the ball to the right player. There's a huge front row here for Canada with Ma and Vernon and Vigras. Hoisted high, Perrin steps in, lots of options, but good blocking in the middle from Bulgaria to slow the ball down. And they get it to their big hitter, Uchikov, who puts that ball on the floor. That's just what Bulgaria needed. Stop the rot. Now Uchikov goes back to serve. Oh, it's a good serve. Good covering and good movement from Uchikov, making himself available to hit the 10 ball, which that meant Skrimov coming on the pipe, had space left and right of the middle block because Canada couldn't flood the middle. Uchikov will go back to serve again. It's all square. Excellent blocking. Mark completely closed down. Nowhere. Oh, good covering. It's going to be a carry, though, given against Perrin. Ball stayed in his arms too long. And just like that, Bulgaria back in front again. Once they got off that rotation, started to ease away here. They're putting Canada under pressure from their own serve. Vernon goes over the top. Good serving run that from Uchikov. Fabulous swing from Vernon. Rather tame serve at this level. And it's punished by Bulgaria as they run the middle. Canada not closing their block, didn't get the hands across the net and close the gap between hands and the net, which is why it went down the front of themselves and on their own side. But Toev with a good serve. Well dealt with by Ma. Chance here, Vernon, but he can only tip. That's an easy pick-up for Bulgaria. And Skrimov with a clever play. Disguising that roll shot really well. It's travelled a good distance. Perrin will be a little upset he didn't get his hands on it. Timeout called by Canada. They've shipped a lot of points since getting themselves back to 6-all, then 8-6 up. Suddenly find themselves 12-9 down.
You're coming straight on, you got a big block on you, it's difficult to get around. But if you come on angle, then you can play the hands, okay, hit deep, stay behind the ball. It's a big venue, maybe a little bit more difficult to see. So angle, okay. Make sure you get a good approach on it. Watch it. Maybe we're a little high on our receive. We could back up, get the ball a bit more in front of us. Okay. What you ready for short here, guys?
Just little bits of information, not wanting to overload the players. A couple of things saying to Ma, particularly if you run straight and you get square onto the net, then you're going to have limited options. If you come on an angle, it gives you the chance to go and attack the fringes of the block, to hit over your shoulder. And ideally in volleyball, when you're coming in to attack, you want to be running in kind of a semi-circle and opening up one angle so that you've got two you can choose from. That's a better swing from Ma. That's a little bit tight for Skrimov. Good up by Marshall. And unfortunately Vernon, well, he's caught the hands. It's gone off the block and out. And Canada have their side out. Back to the serving line. Say the serving line, he's practically out by the advertising hoardings. Big run up. At this level, that's not a serve, that's a spike. That's been defended. Oh, wonderful swing through the middle. Grozdanov, unstoppable. That was a good serve from really well passed by the front court swing hitter, Todor Skrimov, and then all the options available. And as the head coach, Prandy, was saying, run the middle, run the middle. That's what Bulgaria are doing now. They're getting their middles working. They're putting pressure on Canada. That was a poor serve, though, from Grozdanov after he just had a good swing through the middle. Schwartz back to the serving line, yet to score a point in this match. And he's now in minus figures in terms of his efficiency, as he's just given a point to the other team. Bulgaria back to their strong rotation with the setter Seganov in the back row. 3 front court attackers for Bulgaria, and they've come up with an ace serve from Seganov. We are potentially 1 point away from the second technical timeout, but that would mean Bulgaria having to win this point. Good ball in by Perrin. Oh, that's a good up. And it will come back into play. Swing opportunity. Oh, well, it was worth having the swing from Bretoev. You don't want to give the ball back at this level if you can help it. Canada get the point, but effectively it's just a side-out point. Really good defensive play by Bulgaria. Walsh with the serve. That's going to come back, is it? No. Into the second technical timeout we go. Bulgaria leading Canada 16-12.
Then we talk about each other. Now, listen. Yeah. First of all, I remind you, this position for outside hitter is most important. Yeah. And then block high ball. Don't go high, because Vernon use your go over there. Not high ball. Yeah. Let's go.
Always the risk you run at this level of volleyball is taking the jump serve on. Okay, you don't get it, goes in the net, but if it does go over, you're putting the other team on the back foot more often than not. A good opportunity to try and score a point to get the ball, or get the other team out of rotation, out of system, I should say. And for those of you wondering what out of system means, well, if a team is in system, that means they've got all of their hitting options available to them. If they're out of system, then 1, 2 or 3 of those options may not be available, and the ball might not be in a good place for the guy who's got to have a swing on the ball, and then it tends to favour the defending team then, because they can probably get a couple of blockers out, maybe even 3 blockers, and make it even more difficult. That's really good play. Despite the fact that Walsh was often running to get that ball, it wasn't a good pass, but he's made something of it. He's bettered the ball, and not only that, Mars come up with a brilliant swing to get past Uchikov. The touch from Perrin. Oh, that's a shame. When you get 3 blockers go up at the net like that, then your defenders behind need to swivel around a bit more. You can't sit where you would normally sit, because the space That's taken by the front court 4 blockers, now not there. And you could see, unfortunately, the libero for Bulgaria still moving around when the spiker left the floor. When you're playing defense at this level of volleyball, when the spikers leave the floor, when they jump, wherever you get to, wherever you are as a defender, you have to play from there. You have to stop, you have to get in a neutral position, and then try and take a timing off of the spike. If you're still moving when the spiker's having a swing, the chances of you getting the ball and doing something with it are pretty slim. Unless it's hit at you, and even then, it's going to be tricky. That was tricky, and Skrimov wasn't going anywhere. He was in a good position, but the reason it went into the crowd was because he couldn't keep his shoulders facing back to the court. Perrin's turned him. Just have a look at number 8. Bottom of the picture as he gets into a good position here. That's not bad, but you can see where his shoulders have ended up facing. Oh, massive block. It's a monster block from Walsh on Bratoev. Bratoev just wanted to burst that ball. He wanted to hit the stitching off it. And Walsh put his hands up and said, have a go then. Vernon now with the serve. Canada back to within a point. With the Olympics just 1 year away, teams will have one eye on that. There's also a few Olympic qualification tournaments to come this year. The Volleyball Nations League winners don't qualify for a place at the Olympic Games. And as this is the first week of competition, and some of the teams will not be fielding some of their bigger players. That's a good swing from Werner. The Stars having a bit of a rest, particularly those that have been involved in European competition with the CV Champions League and whatnot. That season's only just come to an end. And so those players who've been involved, most of them getting a rest. Certainly in the first week, we'd expect to see them come in. And there's also an opportunity with a 25-man squad, the long list for the Volleyball Nations League. Coaches can pick 14 per week to choose from, so an opportunity to give some of the youngsters a run out as they try and formulate what will be the 12 players that will eventually go to the Olympic Games for those teams who will qualify. Bulgaria still with their noses in front. That's a good ball in. And a good swing from Uchikov. He's definitely the go-to player for Bulgaria. He's very much in the mould of the legend that was Ganev for Bulgaria. Ganev probably one of the greatest players Bulgaria have ever produced. Although Uchikov making a claim for being the modern-day equivalent. Excellent. Skrimov was never looking to get that ball on the floor. He saw the block, he's looking at the ball, and then, like all good hitters at this level, using his peripheral vision to see where the hands are and then work Walsh's hands. Timeout called by Canada. Well, Uchikov's been having a really good set so far. He's got 6 points, 5 attack points and a block. And he's been putting pressure on from the serving line too. But it's not just about being a big hitter and a big blocker. You've got to be able to defend at this level, particularly as an opposite player. Have the ability to mix up what you're doing. Find the gaps in the block. Generally, the likes of Uchikov and Vernon will be hitting balls when you're out of system, when you've made a dig and you're the only player available. And he's doing well so far. And now he's into the front row, Uchikov. It's a big front row this, 3 front court attackers, so options for Seganov if they can get the ball into transition. That's not going to happen. Serve wasn't tough enough and Canada were able to run the middle very easily. Nice ball in from Marshall. And then Beatgrass is up and the ball's down before anyone's moved. Two points away from this opening set then, Bulgaria. In a set that really could still go either way. That's nice from Walsh, having a little look through the net to see where the defenders were. But wasn't the best ball out to Vernon, unfortunately. Might be a better chance now, though. Oh, what a great block that is from Bulgaria. Vernon gets out, but he's tried to bury it into the heart of the block instead of taking on the fringes. Set point now for Bulgaria. High and wide for Vernon. Well up by Seganov. Uchikov. And he has made sure that Bulgaria get the point, and with it the set. 25-20. Bulgaria lead by 1-0 here in Mendoza, Argentina. Well, it's small margins between success and failure at this level, and the opponent's errors. Bulgaria were given 7 points by Canada, and they gave Canada 6 points. Let's have a look at the highlights from the first set. One thing that's new to the Volleyball Nations League this year, and that is to do with the officiating. And those of you that know your volleyball and play it and maybe officiate, you'll know that generally you have 4 lines judges. Two of them doing the long lines and 2 doing the short lines. But for the Volleyball Nations League, we are not having lines judges. We now have end court judges, ECJs, and we have 2 of them, and their primary role is to look for block touches to help the first referee with the ball that may or may not hit the block, and the primary role of ball in and ball out is now with the first referee. There are some pro leagues around the world that don't have line judges at all, and notably in Italy, and the first referee just makes that call. There is the ECJ, and they will point to in and out as well, but that's they're not in the best positions to see that anymore. It's the camera in the top left of the picture now, the Hawkeye cameras, which have full view of the courts and provide real-time imagery of the ball flight. So when we get the ball in, ball out call, that's not someone just making a graphic up. It's been provided to them by the cameras, real-time tracking of the ball. And it shows the compression. The ball compresses down when it hits the line. So we do get some very close in-out calls. Second set then about to get underway. Canada with the serve. Bulgaria having taken the first set 25-20. And a chance here for Canada to get the first point. Have another go. Well, that's more like it from Vernon. That's what he's capable of doing. A player that can touch 3.74 meters according to his stats. Although that's not the true height at which he hits the ball. 3.74 meters is the height at which he can jump up and touch make a mark on the wall or touch a peg. Actual spike height would be a little bit lower. Oh, that's a good serve. A serve from Walsh. Get past Todor Skrimov. That's a great serve. Walsh with the ace, looking for another one if he can get it. This time though, Skrimov with a good ball. And Uchikov does what he does best. Very languid player, Uchikov. Just looks like he strolls into the ball to make his attack. Second off now with the serve. And Bulgaria putting up a screen. That's not a screen because of the contact above the height of the net with the serve. Oh, it's a net touch against Canada. Walsh jump set that, I think, because he's caught it on his way down. It may well have been Perrin, actually. No, it was the elbows of Walsh. Good set. Off the block and away. Sometimes volleyball is as easy as that. You might be in trouble. Just set it high and wide and let the big guns have a go. That's a good serve. Free ball back for Canada. And Ma finds a way cross court. That little quick ball out wide, middle block couldn't get out and help for Bulgaria. Ma had all of the cross court open to him. All off the back of a really good serve. Perrin again. Really clever from Uchikov. Couldn't have a full swing. But presence of mind to tip it just past the middle blocker. Not too far away from Ma to get involved. Really important that the perspiration's cleared off the court. Don't want players slipping and doing their ankles in or their knees in. Skrimov. Good ball from Marshall. Oh, good block. Excellent work from Gotsev. Penchev getting in to help out as well. Excellent. Vernon wasn't really trying to put the ball on the floor. He knows he had three blockers in front of him, and he's just trying to use the hands, and he's used them brilliantly. It's a very different mindset when you hit a ball when you're out of system. If you're having to attack the ball when you're out of system, you're not necessarily, or shouldn't have the thoughts of trying to hit a winner. You're just trying to make it as difficult as possible for the other team. Ma didn't close the block. He's got up, got his hands above the height of the net, but he's left a gap between himself and the net, which is why it's gone down his own side. Gotsev with the serve. Little jump floater to come from him. Well dealt with by Ma. Brilliant. That looked like it came off the shoulder of Bulgaria. It did. Look at the height this is taken at, almost on the top of the antenna. Bit of a miss hit, but we'll take it. Top of the antenna is about 90 centimetres above the height of the net. So 3 meters and 34 high if you were contacting the ball at the top of the antenna. And if you're Vernon, you can add another 40 centimetres to that if you believe the stats. But if that really was the case, if he could hit at 3 meters 74, they could just set him the ball all day, high and wide, and he'd be able to go straight over the top, no matter how many blockers were there. But the reality of the game is very, very different. Uchikov with another good swing. Easy leave that for Canada. Nothing separating the teams then except for the net. However, once this point is over, we will head to the technical timeout. But who will have the lead? That's Ma with the serve. He's gone with a little cute one, short. And Bulgaria have dealt with it. Nikolai Penchev puts it on the floor. We head to the first technical timeout. It's Bulgaria who lead by 1 and by 1 set to nothing. But one of the players who's been doing very well is Sharon Vernon Evans. 2 meters and 2. Still learning his trade, plays in Poland for Warszawa, born in Toronto. Played in the World Championships with 8 caps, 23 other caps altogether. Still a youngster, just 20 years of age. But what a bright future he's got already. Dishing out the points here with 9 for Canada. Technical timeouts are enforced breaks. The players and the coaches don't really set any store by them, and are just little indicators of where you are in the match. You kind of have that race to 8, then the race to 16, but those can be viewed as 2 dress rehearsals. It's that race from 16 to 25 and potentially beyond. That's the important one. Perrin was looking for touches. Did he get them? No, according to the referee, so it's going to be up to Canada to challenge it. Not really stating a case for it, so Bulgaria take the point. No challenge coming. Penchev to serve. Nikolai Penchev not in a really good position technically as he tried to serve that. Ideally, when you're going to hit the volleyball, whether you're spiking or jump serving, you're pushing your belly button towards the bottom of the ball, which is getting your hips in front, your shoulders behind, and then you're using that torque to throw your hip forward, and your shoulder follows to generate the speed that you want. And to add into that, you're trying to separate your shoulder from your hip as well. You're trying to reach up and hit up on the ball. Of course, if you're 6'8" or so on, then you tend to hit down on the ball a bit more, and technique tends to go out the window a little bit. The one thing you can't teach in volleyball is 2 meters and 4. And if you're watching volleyball and you're thinking, well, this is a player I'd like to be like, and that's the technique I'd want to follow, you wouldn't be wanting to follow the likes of Muzerski and so on, who are that tall, because their techniques aren't great. It's the likes of John Gordon Perrin and the likes of Todor Skrimov are the guys that you want to be following, the guys that you want to see what they're doing. Walsh, the setter, and also Seganov, the setters, because their techniques have to be brilliant to compete at this level. Uchikov's not good technique for a pretty tall player, but the taller you get, the less the technique kind of becomes that important, because their height is what they use to make up for the technical deficiencies. And I guess it's one of those ongoing things. You get a tall player who's very young because they're tall. Right, you can do this, and you can do that without having to worry about your technique, and then technique tends to go out the window, and then you end up with a habit that's very difficult to change. Not much that Perrin could do about that, just a little bit too high for him. Back in. Walsh back to the serving line. Canada into their strong rotations now, the next 3 rotations. Good ball in. Good blocking. Canada just flooded the middle. Well, Penchev didn't like that. Vigras was having a little shout through the middle, through the net, and Bulgaria reacted. Referee just trying to calm things down. When you celebrate in volleyball, you have to show your sporting spirit by turning away and celebrating within your teammates. You're not allowed to shout through the net. A little bit of etiquette that is enforced by the referees. It's funny though, isn't it? And how can someone just go at you through the net really do anything at all? Good work from Perrin, found the gap down the line. It's a great set as well. Really well done by Walsh. Skrimov with the serve, Penchev into the front row. Walsh off and running. Mar with some work to do, and he's done it. Working the block. Bulgarian defense seemed to be set for a big hard hit coming. But in this scenario, you're looking to chase the ball down. And I guess one way you can describe it as a defender, when you know the block has got the angles covered, is you go from defending a hard hit, you go from trying to play a first serve in tennis as the receiver to playing what would be a second serve in tennis, where your footwork is one where you're going to be moving around a bit. And a free ball for Mar to dispatch. Seganov can't go in and block his front row. The overpass dealt with. Bulgaria call a timeout.
It's either deep shots, okay? So 6 has to stay deep. You guys have to watch the junk, the stuff that Skrimov did, okay? We have to be very mobile on our defense, right? Ready to go, soft read, okay? Watch the hand on the inner and then move on our defense. This guy can cover. Against the wall. What you done?
He used this area. Be careful. Yeah, be careful. Everybody, one step in this area.
Može.
Good dig from Walsh. Oh, it's a bit tight. But Vernon able to reach over the top. Good work from Uchikov. That's well played by Walsh. Just held his ground, didn't go running in. But now there's a better chance here for Bulgaria potentially. Oh, good effort from Mar. Good covering, that'll still stay in play, will it? No, not quite. Perrin off on the chase. And eventually Bulgaria take the point. They had to work so hard for that. Bulgaria claw a point back. Ma recycles his own spike. Might get another shot here, he will. Good pickup. Well, good improvisation from Skrimov. And eventually Bulgaria's persistence pays off. Canada can't find a way through. Bulgaria back to within a point. First tried the roll, then tried block out. Neither worked. And eventually Bulgaria's block just too strong for Ma. Oh, huge hit from Vernon. Way over the top. Into the second technical timeout, and Canada have the lead.
Get that ball up, little thing. Be ready for the ball. Expect that cover to come in. Let's go. Keep fighting, eh? Keep going. Let's go. Keep pushing, guys. Keep flying. 1-2, Canada. With number 20.
Yeah, when you have that. Brett. Keep going.
Keep our cover. Nice high swing. Make sure we cover. Be patient. All right? Recycle. Play the point. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Come on. Come on.
Keep going.
Side out.
Keep going. Let's go.
Side out. 1-2, Canada.
Vernon looking to do some damage from the serving line. He certainly caused a bit of confusion. That's excellent defending from Perrin, way deep. And it's a good point that from Canada. Hogue just saying, nice save, Gordo. It was a good save from Gordon Perrin, as it had clipped the block, and then Walsh gets it out to Vernon, who does the rest. Oh, that's a monster block. Schwartz dishing out the punishment. Vernon once again, he's had two little roll serves, and again he's tried to roll again, but each time they were getting shorter and shorter. Really wanted him to go up and lace that one. Easy to say when you're watching. The serve wasn't tough enough on Ma. He had time to get himself set, wait for it to come to his platform. And then he's able to have a good swing to the line and punish Uchikov for it. Ma to serve. Good use of the middle by Seganov. So important that the middles get established early and then they become a threat, and it means the middle blockers for the opposition have to wait. They know that it's a possibility the ball could be going there. Good leave. Bratoev not quite finding the mark. If you can just take your eye off the ball for a moment, and just watch the way the team's set up and the way the team's move to get in position to have an attack, you'll soon see why blocks don't get out to where they need to be, why there's only one-on-one at times, because it's the movement of the other attackers coming in that are having to mean that the opposition blockers are held in position because there's a threat coming their way. If only one player moves to attack, then that's the only place the threat's coming, and then the block just move in and hone in on that threat, which is what happens in broken plays when there's only one guy going. Oh, that's a great block from Skrimov, considering Vernon should be hitting over the top of him. The mismatch not exploited. Great blocking from Toro Skrimov. He gets a monster block on Vernon. Bulgaria having called the timeout, well, Canada called the timeout, I should say, because that point from Bulgaria. This is what Skrimov's been up to so far. You have to be a smart hitter at this level when you're not 6'8". And he looks small, but he's about 6'5". But even so, you've got to be able to have a smart, hard serve. You've got to have all the skills, the ability to pass, to defend, to set, and then, when required, to use the ball. And that's a really good roll shot from him. He knew he couldn't hit the ball, and then he's quickly back into position. That was the rally that Bulgaria won. Quick reactions at times as well to keep the ball in play. Good touch in the block. Clever from Uchikov. Canada's defence were on the perimeter of the court. Big, big hole in the middle of court for him to exploit. Well, that's a waste for Bulgaria. That gives Canada a little bit of breathing room now. Coaches will forgive the jump serves that go in the net, but they are generally less forgiving about jump float serves that go in the net. Nowadays, the jump float serve is the equivalent of the standing serve. Well, it just shouldn't miss them. Oh, Zhigov didn't miss that one, did he? Absolutely buried it down the line. Ivanov held his ground, but he couldn't keep the ball in play. But for Canada, it's all about their side out right now, because they can continue to side out first time of asking. They will get the chance to side out for the set. Kind of a classic play we just witnessed then. Middle blocker number 5 as he's moving out, continuing out, and he's still moving backwards when the ball is dug. And that's a discipline issue. You look at Gotsev on that last block, because he was travelling laterally to get out to position, instead of getting to where he could get to, planting his right foot to jump up and go across the net. Had he then landed and turned, he probably could have taken a step to play the ball. You really want to post that outside foot whichever way you're going and get it back facing towards the net so you can jump up straight and go across. Duroka's come on. Little serving substitution for Canada. Oh, that's well covered by Valentin Bratoev. And it's come up trumps for Bulgaria. That's really good play from the outside hitter, because the ball was set to the middle, missed in the middle. And look at that brilliant covering to keep the ball in play, and then Bulgaria's defense got the point. That could be worth 2 for Bulgaria. Bratoev thought he'd got that. Vernon had other ideas. It's gone right through his arms. No wonder he was holding his hands in his head. Or holding his head in his hands, more likely. Now, point here for Canada. would be a little bonus. Well, they're going to have a chance for it. Good defending. Ball not quite in front of Uchikov, couldn't have a full swing. Oh, that's going to be a carry against Vernon. Didn't quite know what to do with it. You can double touch the first ball, but you can't carry it. So Bulgaria have their side out. he didn't know what to do, did he? He kind of just almost caught it, bless him. Best moment now for Canada. They can side out here, give themselves a set point, and then they can really go after it from the serving line, knowing they could still perhaps side out for the set itself. Kept in play by Bratoev. Uchikov. Oh, what a swing that is from him. And now Bulgaria are level and things are turning, are they, in this second set? That is a cracking hit from Uchikov. Canada have called timeout.
Okay? Right. Let's go. Settle, guys. Settle down. Play the point. 1, 2. Canada.
Hey, eyes up here, eyes up, head up. Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Wait. One side out.
Hey,
One side out. One side out.
Chuck's done.
Our side, boys. Our side.
Georgi Bratoev with the serve. Oh dear. Well, that's a waste, and now Canada have set point, but they are going to have to win the set from service. No luxury of side out, neither that for Bulgaria. In Bulgaria, if they side this out, they'll need to win twice from service. But if we get to 24 all, it will be the first team to get 2 clear will take the set. Vernon rolled his last 3 serves, with the third one eventually going in the net. Decided to go for it, which is probably the right thing to do. Didn't want to make it easy. But it's advantage Canada. They're siding out to give themselves a set point each time. But it's Uchikov who has the serve here. Plays in Bulgaria for Neftomic. And they finished 3rd in the domestic league last season, just finished. Good ball in from Mar. Always good to get an end-on view. But unfortunately for Mar, he's rolled that one along the net, hasn't caught the block, and now it's set point for Bulgaria. If you do get to go and watch an international game of volleyball and you have the option to do so, always good to watch at least one set from end on. You can really get a feel for just how the game is developing and how fast the ball is set. Now, much swerve there is on the ball as well. That's too tight. And it's going to be the set for Bulgaria. What a turnaround for them. They take it 26-24. They now lead Canada by 2 sets to nothing. Canada had a set point chance, they couldn't take it. And Bulgaria turned it around very, very quickly. And now lead by 2 sets to nothing. They're 1 set away from victory. Bit of pressure now on Canada because it's going to be a must-win set for them when they go back on. Let's have a look at the highlights from that second set. Well, we got some vital statistics from that second set. Well, Bulgaria were given 11 points by Canada, and that really was the difference in the end. And particularly the moment of when they were made, that error from Ma as he tried to go cross-court was what made the difference. And then the second error right at set point. I suppose it could have only made 2 errors, but if it had been just those 2 errors, it still would have been the same thing. But that's a big blow for Canada. It sets to nothing over Canada. Canada now under pressure. Oh, that was a good idea. Unfortunately, though, Vigras has tried to hit that too steep. Second off once again. Nice play. Perrin's looking for touches, he's got them. Skrimov. A little bit too much on that one. That's a great ball in. Oh dear. Well, Marshall made the move, the libero in the red. He actually ran, and as soon as you do that, you've got to continue on to play the ball because you've just screamed, that's my ball. He went. But he obviously went thinking it was a tip short, and then he's just made it difficult for everyone else. The biggest form of communication in volleyball is your non-verbal communication. That first step towards the ball is the one that screams, my ball. And especially when you're playing in an arena or a hall where you can't hear yourself think, got a good atmosphere and it's words can't be heard. The non-verbal communication is key. It's key even when you're in a venue with 2 people watching, because you don't have to call mine every time. That was lovely. Nobody went through the middle to stop that attack for Bulgaria. There's a quick apology from Schwartz because he went to go outside. Uchikov. Good covering by Canada. It's going to stay in play. Oh, that's an absolute belter from Vernon. Vernon had to have surgery in March last year for a stress fracture on his shin. So had some time out, but he's back to near enough his absolute best. Oh, he's got himself another point, this time from the serving line. And Canada now lead by 2. Bratoa back to the serving line. Plenty of opportunities to get involved on social media at FIVB Volleyball, hashtag VNL, hashtag be part of the game. You can see what's happening around the world with the other matches taking place, and of course you can watch all the games on the FIVB Volleyball TV app. The Men's and Women's Volleyball Nations League now underway. This set's got the look about it that could be what we saw in the last set, one that's going to go all the way to the wire potentially. Lewecki with the serve. Overpassed, all but kept in play. Not any longer though, massive block from Schwartz, a monster from him. And we head into the first technical timeout. Canada leading 8-6. That's a quality block from Schwartz. Suchikov with no chance. Well, Graham Vigrass, the other middle blocker for Canada, has been playing well. He's had 2 blocks. 2 service aces and 3 attack points. Your middles are so key. It's not just about how many attacks they get, but it's about them being on time and being in the air and trying to pin their opposite blocker. And if they've got the opposite blocker to jump with them and they haven't had the ball, they can look and smile through the net as it sails out wide, knowing that they've just got their own teammates, a one-on-one situation. And there's nothing worse when you're a middle blocker and you've jumped up to see the other middle blockers smiling at you and he hasn't had the ball, to know that you've just been had. Lewecki will serve again for Canada. Vernon will keep it in play. Nicely done from Perrin. He was opening up the cross court, let the ball come and then hit over his shoulder to the line. Good touch. Oh, it's just about all that Perrin could do. Oh, that's brilliant from Skrimov, showing exactly how it should be done, burying that one cross court. Known as a 4-4 from hitting position 4 to the other hitting position 4 on the other side of the net. Good up from Bratoev, and that's a brilliant angle from Skrimov. Oh, goodness me. Ochikov getting the full force of that one from Vernon, who showing some good sporting spirit, acknowledges and says, yep, sorry, mate. Good ball in. Options here for Bulgaria, and that's one of them. First time that Seganov's gone over on 2. Canada not paying attention. Front row setter and the blockers, the middle and the outside, have to be wary of that, particularly Perrin. He's got to be helping out his middle blocker, Vigrass. Oh, good block from Uchikov as he shuts down the captain of Canada, Perrin, with nowhere to go. Second off with the serve. It's a good serve. Lewecki in a bit of trouble. Perrin rescues the situation, this time going block out. Canada keeping themselves in front. Good ball from Skrimov. That'll be kept in play by Marshall. Oh dear. Well, there's a bit of confusion for Bulgaria. Skrimov was about to play it. However, Kotsev played it and then went in the net. Marshall to serve again. It's a bit low. Perrin does well to get something on it. That'll stay in play, but it's free ball here for Bulgaria. 3 options in the front row, plus the pipe. Oh, what a block that is from Vigras. He didn't really have to move much, just one little sidestep. He hadn't been bought on the middle. That's because he arrived late. That's why he didn't go with the middle. It should have gone to the middle. Well, that last play was an error from the setter. Seganov.
We play with the ball there. Hey, against Vernon, against the opposite, please. B1. No, don't close line. When he's, especially when he's back row, don't close line. B1.
If you want to get involved, hashtag enjoy VNL, volleyball.world, and you can download the FIVB Volleyball TV app. And a very interesting little conversation Silvano Prandi having with his team. He's just saying, look, against Vernon, we are not going to block the line. Let's take away all of the cross court on him, especially when he's hitting the 10 from back court. Seganov goes to the middle this time. He knows he should have gone there in the last play because Vigras was still trying to get into position. That swing is great. Vernon's already gone out wide thinking about Ukchikov. Oh, big block from Uchikov on Perrin. Bulgaria beginning the comeback. Top ball in, that enables the middle to be run, and that's what it's all about. When you're the back row outside hitter, your main priority, your main focus is a good ball in, and that's it. If you can do that, then you haven't got to do anything else. Doesn't matter you're lying on the floor, because there's 3 options then for the setter to go to. Marshall putting a good ball in. That's good up from Seganov. No carry called against Uchikov. Doesn't matter. Canada play to the whistle and make the block. Hogue, the coach, having a little look to Paolo Terzi. Once again, the ball goes down through the middle for Bulgaria. They're 2 away at the moment. Certainly Canada won't be thinking themselves comfortable in this set, given the way that the last set went. Oh, goodness me. That is the middle attack of the match so far. That was pretty much a warm-up hit for Schwartz. Second technical timeout. Canada lead by 3, but it is Bulgaria who lead by 2 sets to nothing. Vernon with the serve for Canada. Easily dealt with by Skrimov. And again, the middle is used, but this time, though, Canada have it into transition. Lepke pretty much giving it back, and once again, it's the middle being run. And fair play to Seganov. If it's there to be used, then he's going to keep on using it. Oh, it's been given as an ace. There'll be a challenge coming from Canada. Hawkeye being called into action. It left Canada standing, but was it because they thought it was going out and therefore left it? We'll get the animation very shortly. And it is out. Good challenge from Canada. So the score's going to have to be changed. Should be 17-14. Lepke. Another good swing. Uchikov again making it look very simple. Marshall had left the line, but so too had the block. Grozdanov to serve now for Bulgaria. Well, this has been a problem for Bulgaria. 15 errors they've made in this set. In the match, sorry, not in this set. Although saying that, Bulgaria have been given 21 points by Canada so far. Top hit again. That time Skrimov going quickly, hitting quickly. And using Marshall's hands to great effect. What a set that was from Perrin out to Vernon. Bulgaria made a complete mess of that. Brandy not happy. Hogue very happy. Speed of the hit just so good from Uchikov. Doesn't look like he jumps very high, but he's tall old player is Uchikov. 2 meters and 7 tall. Doesn't need to jump that high to hit the ball above the height of the net. Skrimov. Well, that could have gone anywhere. It'd come off the top of the net. That's not going to come back, though. That's good thinking, actually, from Perrin. He's gone with Walsh. They've both gone over the advertising hoardings, and so if Walsh had just touched it, Perrin was in a position where he could potentially have got it back into play. But the synchronised advertising hoardings jump comes to nothing. Goodness me, did not look comfortable at all going to serve that one, did Gotsev. Made a right mess of it. A serve for Vigras. Canada will surely feel that they are on their way to winning this set. Timeout called by Bulgaria.
Opposite, front row, and middle block. Go, please. Okay, guys. Nice. Go. Hey, more shots.
Oh, what a block. What a block that is. Penchev tried to bury it. Better play that time from Penchev. A lovely serve as well from Canada. A little bit of a Bieniek style serve for Poland, looking like it could be a jump float, turning it into a jump serve. A couple of serves from Uchikov could turn things around. It's well dealt with by Canada. They should side this out. Well, they're making it a little bit difficult. Loepke comes up with the point. Well played by him. Couple of changes for Canada. Setter into the back row. De Rocco, it is, coming on to serve and plays the backup setter. Vernon's gone off. And Sklatter's also on to act as the opposite. Number 16 about to play the ball. Oh, well played, Loepke. Well played, Canada. They take the third set, 25-19. They're back in this match. Too many errors from Bulgaria in that set. Canada made the most of their opportunities. We can enjoy the highlights of that third set. Well, Hawkeye does much more than just tell us if the ball was in or out, or was up or down. It can also tell us where the ball has been hit and the contact points as well. This is where Canada have been attacking the ball, and you can see some of those are above the height of the net, with most of the attacks coming from the left side, the front court swing hitter, whereas it's been pretty even spread, but not much going through the middle for Canada. In terms of the vital statistics from that last set, 6 blocks in all, Canada making 4, plus 2 aces, and then given 7 points by Bulgaria in errors. And you start to see where the points difference comes from. One of the interesting rules about volleyball is the fact that you can go under the net. You could fall under the net and have any part of your body other than your whole foot being over the whole line. So you could be laying prone on the floor with your feet on your side of the 3-meter line, but your body on the other side of the 3-meter line, and that's the center line, and that's perfectly acceptable so long as you're not interfering with play. That doesn't mean interfering with playing the ball. The actual rules state that to touch the opponent's court with any part of the body above the feet is permitted, provided that it does not interfere with the opponent's play. In other words, if someone wants to try and get to the ball but can't, or get into a position but can't, that is interfering with play. So if that should happen, you'd expect the referee to call it. But it's a strange one, the fact that you could lie in the opponent's court, but actually if your whole foot goes over the center line, then that would be a fault. Fourth set underway, Canada with the serve, having taken the last set, but trailing by 2-1, and a bright start for Bulgaria as they get the middle running straight away. Gotsev is up and established, and that means Vigras knows he's a threat and will have to keep an eye on him. Good touch by Seganov. Chance again for Canada. Oh, goodness me. That's dangerous. And if you're going to be defending down the line against Vernon like that, you'd probably want to get danger money. God, what a swing. That's been given as in from Penchev on the pipe. Penchev is in for Valentin Bratoev in the outside slot. Nicely done by Canada. Luepke keeps his place on court. Bigras with the serve. Well, they were looking for touches. They're not sure if it's in. Are they going to challenge anything? No, they're not. So, Canada lead 3-2. That's great blocking from Canada. There were 4 players moving for Bulgaria, trying to create maximum pressure, but it was all a little bit congested on that side, and it was running right into where Luepke was waiting. Really good block from him to take the middle out. Good covering. Good up by Walsh. Oh, that's a great dig. And another one. Brilliant rally. Had a chance here maybe for Bulgaria. Uchikov. Vernon gets his hand under the ball. And still it's in play. And it's Canada who take the point. That was a mega rally. That ebbed and flowed, didn't it? First Canada had the advantage, then it was Bulgaria who had the advantage. But ultimately, great piece of blocking from Canada gave them the point. And a really good pancake as well from Vernon. That was great. Got his hand, slid his hand under the ball. And kept in play by Luepke. And then a block from Schwartz and Luepke to take the point. Bulgaria call the timeout. That's where Uchikov can do so well. He can adjust to the ball and still deliver a bone-shuddering spike. Nice play from Eric Luepke. He doesn't have a club at the moment. He's registered as with Team Canada. Vernon. You have to be aggressive with your serving. It's one thing being technically proficient, but once you know where you're serving, you focus on that point from contact all the way through to contact on the other side of the net. You have to be thinking about that, where you want to put the ball, and focusing on that all the way through. Once you've been given your target, once you've done your pre-serve routine, then go up and deliver. Not thinking about, I don't want to miss, or changing your mind halfway through about what you're doing. Commit to what you're doing and go for it. That's off the block. Penchev did very well. Tough serve, well passed. Oh, brilliant blocking. A roof block against Vernon. Penchev. Big serve from him. Good covering from Marshall. Well, that's a good dig by Penchev. Now Bulgaria have a chance. Oh, brilliant. Uchikov, 3 blockers in front of him, off the net, uses the net, and comes up with the point, and Bulgaria have levelled up this 4th set. Vernon will be disappointed he didn't get that one. He was still moving, though, to his left. That's a big serve. Penchev gets it off the block. We head into the first technical timeout. Bulgaria have the lead. Uchikov's been the go-to player for Bulgaria. 23 points he's scored so far, 19 attacks, 4 blocks. And it's Vernon with 22 points, 18 attack, 3 blocks and an ace. So the opposites doing all the damage for their countries right now. And you can see what the other team's been doing and the damage they've been doing on social media. Hashtag VNL, at FIVB Volleyball, hashtag be part of the game. You can get on Twitter and sing like a lark. And also see what everyone else is talking about, what's trending in the Volleyball Nations League in week 1 of the Men's Volleyball Nations League. The Women's Volleyball Nations League has been up and running for a couple of weeks now. Penchev with the serve. Good touch. It's a bit too far in front of Uchikov. Oh dear. Well, Vernon's supposed to be running on the 10, that's his job. And he's saying, well, I just dug it. Well, that's fine, but you still can go and get into a position to go and have the swing. But what it tells us is Walsh wasn't watching. Vernon's got out and then not bothered to go and have the attack, but Walsh didn't see him. Just missing on that sideline. Well left by Canada. Easy lead for Bulgaria. That's a great set from Seganov. Vigras had no idea where that had gone, and then that looked like a bit of a panicked hit from Perrin. Just rushed it slightly. Skrimov has gone to the bench. And number 17, Penchev, has taken his place. Nikolai Penchev. That's not made the court. Uchikov saying the ball was out, but there's going to be a challenge here for a block touch. They won't be able to challenge whether or not it touched the player in the back court as it went past them. But they'll certainly have a look and see if the block touched it. Of course, they could be challenging for in and out. They certainly look more out than in. Big screen right above the court, so everyone's getting neck ache. That hasn't touched anybody. That's the shadow of the ball going over the fingers. There's no movement of the fingers. It's out. There was no touch. Bulgaria increasing their lead, and so Canada call a timeout. Canada need to find a way back into this set pretty quickly. They don't want Bulgaria to get any further away, and they don't want to be making any more errors. But that's exactly what's happening at the moment. Good put away from Vigras. Marshall's done brilliantly to get a touch on it. Can it stay? Oh, what a shame. Marshall with no sense of self-preservation just went sliding after that one to make a good touch. Of course, bashed his back on that, but such a shame the balls then ended up in the crowd. Seganov with the serve. Penchev didn't really commit to that, wasn't sure whether he was trying to get a block out or a roll or what he was doing, just didn't hit it hard enough, and it's rolled straight down in front of him then. He can't recycle it. DeRocco is on, part of the double serving substitution that we've seen in the previous sets. Number 16, Sklatter also in. In fact, it's just a straightforward serving substitution. Walsh and DeRocco both on, the two setters. But it's a side out for Bulgaria, so DeRocco will be going straight back off. Well, they're not going to challenge it. Penchev is saying no, it was out. Big swing off the block and away. And Bulgaria will head into the second technical timeout, leading by 5 points. was a big net touch there. Who touched the net? It must have been Canada. Can't underestimate the value of a good pass in volleyball at this level, because if it gets your middles working, then it means the opposition middle has to wait, just as we saw there. That didn't go to the middle, but because it went out wide, and then Penchev's got one-on-one here. Much easier to put the ball on the floor as a result. Top blocking from Bulgaria. They're getting further and further away from Canada. Good dig. Well, that was a shame for Marshall, because he's made a good dig. It's come back to the net, but because it's caught the high part of the net, it rolls straight down. And then Luepke couldn't get to it. Another timeout for Canada. It's looking like their time out here on court is running out. Chikov once again. Uchikov finds the gap in the block, and despite the fact that Luepke was waiting, it was such a good hit that Luepke couldn't deal with it. Well, that's a foot fault from Penchev. Just towed the line as he jumped to have the attack. Schwartz really going after that one, but he's just scrunched up as he's had the swing, lost the height he needed to get it over the net. It's landed in, and a net touch against Canada. So it's Bulgaria's point. Right now, Canada are just getting themselves side-out points. They're not putting any pressure on at the moment. Dirocco stayed in. And incredibly, Canada are operating a almost like a 5-2. Dirocco can act as a backup setter who's coming in, and but also an outside hitter. So he's taken over in that role. Two side outs is all Bulgaria need to see this one off. And there's the first one. It's now a match ball for Bulgaria. Nikolai Penchev to serve. That's an easy lead for Marshall. It's all over. Unforced error from the serving line. Bulgaria take the point and the set 25-17, and they have beaten Canada by 3-1 here in Mendoza, Argentina. Well, it just kind of fizzled out a little bit for Canada in that last set. They faded away and couldn't get themselves back into it. Bulgaria did enough. And they'll be delighted. Their first game in the 2019 Volleyball Nations League, and they have a victory. (25-20, 26-24, 19-25, 25-17). A 3-1 victory for Bulgaria. They are off and running in this year's Volleyball League. So this is how things currently look in Mendoza. Bulgaria with their victory, 3-1. Up next we'll have Argentina, the hosts, against Portugal. In Serbia, Serbia have lost to Japan, and France have beaten Russia. In China, Iran beat Italy 3-1.